Hello YouTubers, and welcome to my deck list of my elemental heroes. This is my video about my elemental heroes. So I'm going to show you my deck list. Here we go. I run two elemental heroes. Sparkman, it's a 16 attack and a 14 defense. There's pretty much not a lot to say, but it basically fuse into anything. And when the new elemental hero light comes out, it will be broken. To elemental hero ocean. At my standby phase, I get to get a monster from my graveyard to my hand or from the field to my hand. So it's pretty good. It helps me bring out absolute here and there. I run two wall hearts. It's basically unaffected by traps. So if my opponent sets down like a mirror force, I can just summon this and just swing for 15. It's pretty good. I run three King of the Swamp. Um, it's a fusion material. I get to pitch it for me to get a polymerization to my hand. So in a way, I don't have to carry a lot of elemental hero monsters on me. I can just basically carry King of the Swamp and just allow me to fuse with anything. Here's the newest one I put inside. To Freed the Matchless General. Instead of me drawing, I get to search for a monster of my choosing. So in a way, it's like a reinforcement of the army. And it's unexpected and it's unaffected by spell cards. I noticed that people spend like 4 cards trying to take it down because they can't play Dark Hole on it. They can't play Smashing on it. They can't do anything on it basically. So in a way, he's like he's like untouchable when it comes to magics. One Sangan. It helps me search out for my elemental hero monsters 15 or less, or probably my King of the Swamps. Pretty good card. My newest one again is my two Dashers. It is so broken in here. I'm thinking of running one more, but at the same time, I'm just only thinking. Um, what it does is if I draw into a monster, it is basically automatically special summoned to the field. So it means that if I drew into like an Ocean's automatically special summoned to the field, and I get to play her effect right off the bat. So in a way, it's a pretty broken card. And I get to tribute a monster and he'll gain 1000, and if he attacks, he switch to defense. So in a way, it's like a hand in hand. Two woods allows me to search for my polymerization from either from the graveyard to my hand or from the field to my hand. I mean from from the deck to the hand as I was. Two prismas allows me to take the name of the elemental hero, and it makes the deck kind of fast because it slowly limit down my deck. So in a way, it's a pretty good card. And one elemental hero shadows the searcher and the MST of the deck. On to my spell cards. I hope that when they make new elemental hero cards, they're gonna come out with brand new draw power. So I hope so. One dark hole staple. Basically, you play it and it destroys the field. One a pot of avarice. Like I said, um, my deck moves pretty fast, so in a way, I'm like, I'm like calling every card, using every card left and right. So in a way, this has probably helped me to replenish my hand and replenish my graveyard and my deck. So one pot. I'm thinking of running two, but for this format, I'm thinking is one would be good enough for me. One one giant grenade. We return the cards from the backfield to the hand. Two polymerization. No, they're not for trade, so don't ask. and it just basically I only run two because if I run three, it's gonna be like a dead draw. So I run two. In the way, it makes you figure out who do I need to bring out more, and it basically fuse. It makes me fuse from the hand or from the field. One Monster Reborn, staple, return cards to the field, and three hand destruction. This card is absolutely broken. Absolutely broken. You just said it. Your opponent draws hand destruction. And basically, if you dump a dasher, you draw. You special summon any monster you want. Basically, and it's a pretty awesome card. Especially though if my first starting hand is some two dashers. Hand destruction, two dashers go in my graveyard, and I draw two brand new monsters, special summon them to the field. It's such like a very good +1 for me, maybe +2, and it helps me against any dead draws that I have. So in a way, this is my draw power here. Two of the 8 forces. Elemental hero monsters are considerably weak in this format because Black Wings are getting too hard to handle. The 6 Samurais are getting way too hard to handle. So in a way, the 8 force helps me out because people don't want to mystical space it. Like people don't want to waste their card on this 200, but it slowly adds up. For every monster I have, it gains 200. So yeah. Three Miracle Fusions. Um, when Elemental Heal when Elemental Heal Light comes out, this probably will be limited to one or probably limited to two because it's so broken. You can fuse out of the graveyard and you just bring on a monster. And lastly, my magics is two E's. Um, I want to run three E's just to make the deck a little bit faster for me to draw as much as I can. But at the same time, I, there comes a time where I draw way too fast and I have monsters in my hand that I really don't need or I really don't need in my hand. So I'm running two E's. And on to my traps. Sorry about me moving the camera. I'm using one hand basically just to hold the camera up. One Solemn Judgment. It's a pretty awesome card because it negates anything. So one, two Solemn Warnings. Like I said, elemental heroes are weak at some point. So in a way, Solemn Warning helps me out because I said it, summon the monster, warning it, attack twice maybe, attack 3 times maybe, or maybe this is probably a potential of like an OTK out of this deck. Yeah, so this my deck basically can produce a OTK. One, 7 tools of the bandits, staple of course. As long as your opponent is running Solemn Warnings and Solemn, 7 tools will always be in play. Call of the Haunted. It's a pretty good card for me to return back my monsters from the graveyard to the field. Just sit down, summon it. I get me like an Ocean, a Woodsman, Absolute maybe. It helps me out here and there. Torrential Tribute. Um, Staple of course. I don't really like the card, but in a way it does help me. I just said it. They summon out strong monster. Torrential it. There it goes. And I forgot to bring out my Mirror Force. Yeah, so in a way I'm running one Mirror Force inside the deck. So yeah, on to my fusions. Yeah, onto my fusions. I run one Elemental Hero Wild Wingman. He's gonna be replaced soon if I figure out the build that I want for this Elemental Hero deck. But right now he's like a Mystical Space Typhoon if I just discard cards in my hand. He's a good combo if I have 2 woods on the field. I could just basically get 2 polymerizations to my hand and pitch them both and basically yeah, just destroys backfield alone. Elemental Hero Dark Bright, he's a piercer. If he is destroyed by battle, I get to destroy one monster. And if he attacks, he switches to defense. I hardly ever bring him out now, because, well, he's, ever since I don't run Necroshade, it's basically kind of like a dead fusion inside this format. One, a Plasma Vice, it's a piercer, and I get to discard a card in my hand to destroy one attack position monster. Necro Shaman, same thing. I usually bring them out if I am running Necro Shades, but since I'm not running Necro Shades anymore, it's kind of like a dead fusion to me. It just basically destroy one monster on the field. Terraforma, it's this card basically what sets off the OTK. I just summon an absolute, tribute absolute on him, and attack for 5,000. Maybe I am going for game here and there, but yeah, it's a pretty broken card. I'm running one. Dragon Knight Draco Esquis. People say, how do you bring this out? And I said, well, it's just that if I have a dasher in my hand and like a King of the Swamp, and I just don't want to go for absolute yet, I just basically bring him out. He's like an OTK for the 5,000 I have, and the 32. So it's like an 8,000 total. Um, yeah, all it just in there is just that in case if I'm gonna side super poly, he is in there just so that I could just super poly it. So yeah. My favorite card of the entire deck is 2 Shiny Flare and Wingman. So broken, you just basically take the burn of the attack of the monster, and he gains 300 for every elemental hero monster inside a graveyard. Good. Elemental hero Wild Edge attacks everything on the field once. This will stop the Gravekeepers like crazy because they need their monsters basically, and if I summon him out, he can basically attack almost everything on the field and surpass the Necro Valleys. Broken card. What makes even the deck even more broken is this absolute. When the ban list comes, absolute will probably be hit eventually, but not right now. When it leaves the field, it basically destroys all monsters on the field. So in a way, it's like so broken. Um, I'm testing out these 2 fusions. I'm not sure what I want to do with them yet, but I'm testing them. Evil Hero and Evil Hero Sniper switch to defense. In every standby phase, my opponent lose like 1,000. I think it's a pretty good card. So I could just set in defense. My turn, I draw. He loses 1,000. In a way, it's like a good helping hand. And this is probably what I'm gonna replace the first fusion earlier. Um, because his effect is that you can't activate no spells or trap cards when he is attacking. And if he inflicts battle damage, your backfield goes away. So in a way, it's way better than him. Way better than him because in a way, I gotta pay a cost to discard, and him he just attacks, inflicted the 5 points, and there you go. So yeah, this is my Elemental Hero build. Tell me what you think of it. I would love to hear positive feedbacks. If I hear any negatives, I will read them and try to prove you wrong. Um, but yeah, it's basically a pretty good deck here and there. The only thing is that I asked for is that they have draw powers. Elemental heroes need draw powers. Like, why does every deck have a draw power except for the elemental heroes? And I seen a draw power. It sucks. Like the fifth hope, same thing as Pot of Avarice. If you don't control no cards on the field in your hand, you draw 3. Wow, 3 kind of helps you, but at the same time it does not. So yeah, please tell me your feedback, and I hope that like you like this video. So yeah, message me or subscribe me. I don't care. Yeah. Bye.